The effects of climate change are already being felt today. To ensure the future of our planet for generations to come, we must act now. At Deutsche Bahn, we accept this responsibility. For the climate, for people, and for the economy. That is why we are turning not just our products green, but also the ways in which we work. This is embodied by Deutsche Bahn's green transformation. We focus on 5 areas of action: climate protection, nature conservation, resource protection, noise reduction, and social responsibility. Hotter summers, intense storms and torrential rains. Climate change affects us all. It affects us at Deutsche Bahn, and it also affects our customers. Rail is the most climate-friendly mode of transport, but that's not enough for us. We want to become even greener. That is why we have set ourselves an ambitious goal to become completely climate neutral by 2040. We plan to achieve this in several ambitious phases. Since 2018, customers in our long-distance trains have been travelling entirely with renewable energy. As of 2025, all of our depots, office buildings and stations in Germany will be powered entirely by green energy. And by 2038, we will convert our traction power to 100% renewable energy. Examples of our climate protection measures include phasing out fossil fuels. That's why we are looking into alternative drives, like hybrid locomotives and hydrogen-powered vehicles. We are also making mobility services beyond our rail lines more sustainable, with diverse eco-friendly platforms for intermodal transport, including Flinkster, Call a Bike, and Dioki. That way, our passengers can travel completely green from door to door. The world today is a different place than it was just a few years ago. Our ecosystem is suffering. Forests and meadows are drying out, insects are disappearing, and diverse plant and animal species are facing extinction. With our green transformation, we at Deutsche Bahn are working on sustainable solutions to maintain our diverse ecosystem. Specifically, we are taking an active role in protecting and preserving biodiversity. Over the last years, we have implemented 10,000s of nature and wildlife conservation activities. And with the help of a newly developed geodata system, we are now even better equipped to support nature conservation. We want to ensure biodiversity and strengthen our planet's flora and fauna. One contribution we make is at our construction sites. We catalogue the animal species on site, create new habitats, and relocate animals or their nests if necessary. Did you know that Deutsche Bahn is one of the largest owners of forests in Germany, with around 20,000 hectares? This land provides crucial habitats for rare plant and animal species. That's another way we actively help conserve diverse species, from the peregrine falcon to the Apollo butterfly. To date, more than 50 million bees have found a new home on DB land. Nature conservation presents a new challenge every day. That is why we do our part to ensure a diverse ecosystem for today and into the future. Nothing lasts forever. This is especially true of our resources. That is why we at Deutsche Bahn have been recycling raw materials for years. Already today, we have achieved a recycling rate of more than 95%. We also extend the service life of our products and recycle whenever possible. From redesigning our ICE trains to recycling concrete sleepers and ballast used in the track beds. We are constantly optimizing our product cycles and giving old items a new life. We also practice environmental awareness on our regional and long-distance trains, for example by providing hand soap that is 100% free of microplastics. Our long-distance passengers can also enjoy fair trade products, such as coffee and tea. Many of the surplus food products in our onboard restaurants are donated to a nationwide network of food banks, the Tafel organization. We will continue to add further sustainable options for our customers and employees. Shifting more transport towards a green rail system also results in noise pollution for many people who live near our railway lines. This is why it is particularly important to us to reduce the level of noise generated by our rail services. This is a crucial step in gaining acceptance for the green transformation. By the end of 2020, we had already halved rail traffic noise compared to the year 2000. By 2030, we plan to reduce noise levels for more than 800,000 people. That is more than half of all people affected. And by 2050, we will reduce the noise from the rails for all residents exposed to railroad noise, more than 1.6 million people. To reach this goal, we are using a twofold approach. Approach 1 reduces noise locally. For example, we are building new noise barriers and retrofitting homes with soundproof windows. Approach 2 reduces noise at the source, the train itself. By 2025, we will have replaced all of DB Long Distance's diesel-powered shunting locomotives with low-noise, eco-friendly hybrid switches. In addition, by 2025, all electric mainline locomotives of DB cargo freight trains will be running with low-noise braking systems. All DB cargo freight wagons have already been equipped with whisper brakes. We are also investing in research and innovations to further reduce noise. That means with the green transformation, it's also getting more quiet. With more than 300,000 employees worldwide, billions of passengers, and a large number of partners, Deutsche Bahn plays an important role in our society. We are well aware of this responsibility. With our green transformation, we are not only supporting the environment, we also want to make a social contribution. That starts with a sustainable supply chain. All of our partners must agree to comply with the requirements of our Code of Conduct. This togetherness is also an important part of our entire corporate culture. Through collaborations, for example with the startup Share, we are actively working towards a more equitable society. By 2024, we will fill at least 30% of management positions with women. Simultaneously, we also employ initiatives like our Ein sich anders campaign to recognize and celebrate the individuality of every single DB employee. Diversity is important to us, both in our society and at Deutsche Bahn itself. Our 5 areas of action: climate protection, nature conservation, resource protection, noise reduction, and social responsibility are driving the green transformation of Deutsche Bahn. We have not reached our goal yet. We are still not green in all areas, but we are on the right track. This is green.